Good morning. Start of another day here in KL. And you know how you can know that? Different shirt. Got my orange shirt on today, and I'm on my way to meet up with Daryl for breakfast. And man, what a weather day we may be in for. I'm just looking up at the sky, and it is gray. It is threatening rain. The world seems wet already, so I think it's been raining all night. But we've got a lot of rain on its way, I think. A little bit of a clear sky over there towards the Petronas Towers. It's cool. But I've got my umbrella with me. And Daryl has a car, so if it does come pouring down, we could be okay. And this is a little bit of a camera experiment breakfast, because I picked up my Olympus camera. It was the battery door lever was broken. I brought it into Olympus. They fixed it up for me. 130 ringgit to fix it. Everything seems okay. And yeah, I'm always unclear about this camera, whether I want to use it, keep it, or not. Anyway, now that it's back into my life, I thought I'd play around with it and shoot some video with it today. Reacquaint myself with an old friend, because I didn't bring this camera to Vietnam with me. I didn't have it with me. It felt like it was too much weight to carry around, so I didn't bring it, and just brought my GoPro. But now my GoPro Hero 12 is in the shop for repairs, so I thought, hey, might as well break out the Olympus, play around with it. So here we are, Masjid Jamek Station, as always. Let's dive in there and go meet Mr. Daryl, Mr. WanderEats. Have some good coffee and a good breakfast, then we're gonna have a good chat about cameras. There are a lot of things about this camera that make it less than ideal for shooting video. The main one is contrast detect autofocus. So already I'm noticing that as I spin the camera around and aim it in different directions, it just takes forever to refocus on anything, any new subject, and most of the time it never actually acquires focus. So you have to slow down your life, slow down your pace in life. You have to turn the camera around, wait a couple of beats, and give it a chance to acquire focus. And if you don't, the whole world will be out of focus all day long. And of course, it's a lot heavier than a GoPro, so you need a lot more arm power, and my lens isn't wide enough. So I'm trying to hold it as far away as possible to get a nice wide shot, but your arm can't really hold the camera out that far for very long. It will start to drift closer as your arm gets tired, and then you end up like this, and I want it at least like this. So. And there's all kinds of other problems. It doesn't have a tally light built into it. So right now, there's no red light flashing to tell me that it's recording. I'm assuming it's recording, but I don't know. There's no visual confirmation. So it's not a video camera in any way, shape, or form. But it is the camera that was sitting on the shelf in my room. So might as well grab it and play around with it. So this is where we are right now, and heading next to PWTC, and then heading to Titiwangsa, and I transfer at Titiwangsa. I have no idea whether it even focused over there at all. It's hard to tell. Doesn't look focused, but when I aim it in this direction, it seems to acquire focus again. So there, you can see it's not focusing on that at all. Yeah. the world out there is a very, very wet one. Judging from the noise out there, the rain is coming down hard. But I'm at Tinewangsa Station. Oh yeah, there's the rain. You can see it over there, maybe. Brutal. Water World. So here at Tinewangsa, I change over to the Kajang line for one more stop. I've been sending Daryl messages updating him on when I'm going to arrive, but then I just realized I had mobile data turned off, so none of my messages were sent. But that's also something that comes along with using a camera like this. So much more of my brain gets occupied with thinking about the camera. Something like a GoPro, you just don't have to think about it. All of your attention is focused on the world around you. But with a camera like this, I think a lot of your attention ends up on the camera because it's so much more complicated. All right. Let's head for the transfer. It's always an interesting transfer point because this is an older line, and you can tell by looking around just the construction. But then as soon as you get into the transfer area, the Kajang line, it's a brand new MRT line, and everything is much more modern. Oh man, yeah. There's the rain coming down. So this is me. Has the camera focused on me in any way? Had to pause for a second to let the automatic doors open up. Yeah, the menu systems on Olympus cameras are also very complex, a little bit difficult to grasp. I find if I want to change a setting, any setting at all, I have no idea where it is. I have no clue. Like where in the menu is this particular feature located? I couldn't tell you. So what I end up doing is starting at the very top of the menu, and I just scroll and scroll and scroll through section after section after section. I go through the entire menu over and over just to sort of review the settings all the time because they're so complicated. Yeah. Sounds like I'm not selling this as a video-centric camera, and it's true, I'm not. But heading down into the bowels of the MRT system. But one of the reasons I'm so interested in this, again, doing a little camera experiment, is that I found out that a YouTuber couple named Flora and Note, apparently they use the DJI Pocket 3 camera. I was watching some of their videos recently and I was so impressed with the production value in their videos. Not necessarily the content, it's not really my style, but just the quality of the video, the editing, everything about it was so professionally done and looked so good. And I was wondering, as I always do, what camera are they using now? Because years ago, they were using a Canon M50 camera. And it has terrible stabilization, but their video is buttery smooth. So I'm thinking, well, they must have it mounted on a gimbal if they're still using the M50. But the video looked so nice to me, I couldn't believe it was an M50. There's no way. I'm assuming, and they make a lot of money with their channel. They're very popular, they're very professional. They have more than enough money to buy anything they want. So I just assumed they'd upgraded to a full-frame Sony system of some kind. It looked that good to me. But then Daryl sent them a message. I'm always reluctant to do that because it's such a dumb or such a monotonous YouTuber question. It's like, oh, what camera are you using for your channel? And I hesitate to ask. And people like Flora and Note would get so many emails and messages and things. So, but anyway, Daryl did ask them, what camera are you using? And they replied to his comment and said, the DJI Pocket 3. So I'm like, man, really? So now I'm gonna go back and rewatch some of their videos and see if I can pick out that it is the Pocket 3, because I never would have thought that myself. Oh, here we are down on the platform, and I'm here at Titiwangsa, going one stop, Sentul Barat. And of course, the elephant in the room that I haven't mentioned yet, using a camera like this as compared to a GoPro, the weight. Well, I guess I sort of mentioned that already, but I'm using it on an Ulanzi selfie stick right now. It's not a very big one, but I noticed, oh, what happened to my selfie stick? It was so short, and it's because the weight of the camera collapses the selfie stick, which would never happen with a GoPro because it's so light. So when you use a camera like this, there are so many disadvantages. You really have to be clear about why you're using it. Like what are the advantages to using it? And if the advantages aren't that clear, then yeah, you better rethink it. Just grab a GoPro or Pocket 3, apparently. It's the new king of the hill.
Exit to the right door.
And there's the beautiful Kajang Line train. Yeah, Masjid Jamek station was super busy. Rush hour, height of rush hour. But this station seems to be quite quiet still. Yeah, the settings on this camera are so complicated that yesterday I was playing around with this camera for the first time after I picked it up. And then I was checking the video later on, or when I was shooting the video, it was like really jerky. It didn't look as smooth as I remember. And I was sort of disappointed, and I thought, I thought Olympus had really good stabilization. And it wasn't until this morning I realized that deep in the menu settings, I had turned off stabilization because I'd mounted the camera on a tripod. But yeah, the settings are buried so deep in the menu system that you can often lose track of them. Flags for Independence Day. And I usually meet Daryl at a certain exit, and this time he said because it's raining, it's better to meet at exit B, Pintu B. I don't remember why. Must be more covered roof or something. I'm here 15 minutes early. I might actually go get a coffee. There's a like a coffee bot type of machine here. We are going to have coffee and breakfast, but I can always have 2 cups of coffee. I just want to have fun with the camera. Unfortunately, the coffee machine is way at the other end of the platform, or the other end of the station. See if it focuses on my touch and go. I don't think so. That's too close. And this is the 12mm lens, by the way. It's the lens I happen to own. There's the coffee machine down there. And it had some fungus on the inside, so I also had it cleaned. So I picked it up yesterday. But if I kept this camera as a main workhorse for me, if I kept it in my life, to be honest, I'd like to switch lenses. This is 12mm right now, and Panasonic has released a 9mm prime lens. Very small, very lightweight, but also extremely expensive. But I was thinking of trading in this 12mm, trying to get as much money for it as I can, and getting the 9, because I don't know, maybe this would be 12 right here, and then 9 sort of thing. It's like, well, 12 to 9, it's 25%, right? It's a 25% increase in the field of view. Is it worth it? There's my coffee machine, and I might try to figure out how to use this one. It's different from the other machines I've used. So I have no idea if I'm in frame or not. And it's not a great angle on the coffee machine, but I don't want to put the camera out in the middle. People will trip over it. So do I have enough time? Yeah, just barely. So let's see what we do here. Select drink first. So the drink I want to select is, of course, well, there's something called a dirty matcha. Let's go for that. Something different. Dirty matcha. And then select taste. Okay. Medium sugar hot drink. And then proceed to place order. Please select your payment method on the terminal. Okay. Card payment. Oh no, I don't want that. I gotta go back. Ah, I can't go back. Return. I guess I have to start all over. Yeah, it's this step that always screws me up, because I don't want to do card, actually. I want to do eWallet. So, okay, it's reset. Let's try again. Dirty matcha. Select payment online. eWallet. They always ask me, do you have member card? And you can't see the screen. No, I don't. Choose an item. I did already. Pay now. This is really confusing. And I guess I can do this now. Oh, okay, that worked. Vending in progress. It worked, though it was a little bit complicated because of this. It's a weird sort of payment service. Making time, 60 seconds preparing. But there's the coffee bot in all its glory. Oh, I had the camera pointed upwards. 35 seconds left. It's pretty big coffee. I was hoping to be able to get a small one, but there didn't seem to be any options for that. Oh yeah, doesn't look like there's any lids or anything. The one at Masjid Jamek has a separate area where you can get lids and stirring sticks and things like that. This one will just be without a lid or anything. I feel like I'm in 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is my own personal monolith. If I had that 2001 music playing, you know, like, ah, and I could come up and put my hand on it, and I would become evolved. Oh, I think I heard the door open. Hooray, your drink is ready. Oh, look at that. It was over here, and then it moved over on a slider. Oh, and I put the lid on. Okay. Look at that. Because when I tried to open that door, it wouldn't open. Look, it's sliding back. And it automatically put on a lid. All right. I've had my fun. I better hurry up now, make sure Daryl isn't waiting for me. And I was wondering whether I'd have to fiddle around with the lid, like lift up a covering and click it into place. But it just has a little opening, so it's ready to drink. No. No. Poor choice on my part. It's not hot enough. It's just like lukewarm. And that ruins the whole thing for me. I didn't want to drink. Like if I wanted a drink of cold water that you just drink, that's what I would get. I want a hot coffee that I can slurp, sip over time and enjoy it, right? I could pop the lid off this, drink the whole thing down, and it would be gone in 2 seconds. I taste mainly matcha. I'm not tasting any espresso. I guess a dirty matcha is espresso plus matcha, but all I have here is matcha flavor. Green grass after the lawnmower is done with it. That's what it tastes like. Daryl is already here, so really have to press it down for it to engage. Now it's recording.
Yep. What were you saying earlier?
What's that?
What were you saying earlier?
Well, it's too late now. Yeah, adjusting to this Olympus, I'm making all kinds of mistakes. I just recorded a long sequence babbling about something and wasn't recording the entire time. But now it is recording. Yeah, it's still raining pretty hard. The roads around us are kind of flooded. You can see cars up ahead. They're sort of going through the puddles and people are getting splashed. But I was talking about how here in KL in particular, during a rainstorm, all the people on scooters, they look for cover underneath the freeways, underneath the overpasses. And you'll find 100 of them under there hiding. Oh, there's a truck splashing through the water. Yeah, rain makes the world a much more difficult place to navigate. Like it doubles or triples the energy required just to go about your day. Yeah, it really does.
We still need rain though.
So let's see if my Olympus will focus on Daryl. I have no idea how long it takes. Contrast detect autofocus. But it's not necessarily contrast detect itself. I was just talking about the Canon G7X Mark II. It has contrast detect autofocus and it's pretty snappy. It works pretty well. But on the Olympus, it's like a grandpa getting out of a rocking chair. It's got to just sort of ease into action, look for something to focus on. Takes its time, and then it tries to focus, and sometimes it gets it, sometimes it doesn't. You just don't know. So you live in today we are living in a blurry world as well as a rainy world. And there's no tally light on the front.
Oh.
It's not a video-centric camera, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
So it was never designed to shoot video, really. But just the absence of a tally light, that one thing alone drives me crazy. Because I don't know whether it's recording or not. I got to keep turning it around and going, oh yeah, it's got this tiny little red dot up in the top left corner.
But you could flip the...
Yeah, which I don't like to do. But when you do, that red dot is covered up by the microphone jack.
True.
But there is a little REC in the bottom there, record. But yeah, there's
the bright sunlight. Can you still see it?
No. No, well, I can't. I need something much more obvious than that. Looks like it's got a bit of a...
the ZV one as well. I mean, you can see the tally light, but what I mean, the screen, you can't see anything at all in the bright sunlight.
And I can't find the beeps. Like, there's no beeping right now.
Oh yeah.
I want it to beep when I hit record, just to give me an audio reminder. And I went through the entire menu from top to bottom, scrolling, and I haven't found that setting yet. I was talking about that when I was in the MRT as well, comparing this to a GoPro, just the complexity of a camera like this. And Olympus cameras in particular have a very complicated menu system. And I don't know where anything is, so I I find when I sit down with this camera and I'm sipping a cup of coffee or something, I'll turn on the menu and I'll just go through the whole thing just from top to bottom, page after page, just reviewing the settings just to make sure. I found out that yesterday when I was using this camera, I didn't have stabilization turned on.
Oh, wow.
I had it turned off. I had no idea. I didn't find out until this morning. Just things like that. It's not obvious. Yeah, it wasn't there. Well, maybe it shut off, but.
Is that now? Yeah.
Yeah, but with my eyes the way they are, I can't see it at all. Like I can't.
Yeah,
I'd have to wear glasses. Our first spot Daryl thought of for breakfast was very busy. All the tables were full. They had a couple, like 3 or 4 tables, but they were all covered in rain. They're all getting rained on, so we're just walking along.
Take it.
Yeah. It's a place called Bananas. Banana.
Yeah. Because they serve banana leaf later for
I
lunch.
get you.
But this place is called Plaza Hatamas.
Right.
And since it's raining, going to a mall was the best idea I could think of. And
Yeah.
I don't think I brought you here before, so
Plaza
Here we are.
Hatamas.
Plaza Hatamas.
But even if it does focus, I can't tell. Like with my normal eyes. I think it's time for me to get glasses, like actual glasses I wear all the time. Aha! We found a table. We just went around the block. By the time we got back, there was seating. And my Olympus, I have to hold it like 1,000 miles away in order to get, and I have to look at the screen to make sure we're in frame. But we're having a drink.
Here,
Yep.
Kopi curry.
Yeah. What is it again?
Basically, they just pull the coffee.
Oh, okay. Pulled coffee.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Like tea terek, but this is coffee terek. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice outdoor environment here. I was just telling Daryl about how my experience the other day using a QR code ordering system and how much I prefer that now. Because the waiter came to our table as soon as we sat down, and he's just standing there politely waiting for us to order something. But I need 10 minutes, I need 15 minutes to think about it, go over the menu, right? And the QR code allows you to take your time. You don't feel rushed. Of course, Daryl just asked the guy, so yeah, we're not really ready yet. Come back in a couple of minutes. But I always feel like the clock is ticking. Like there's pressure now to get my order, to figure out what I want. So some food is arriving, and just going to pan across a few items here. Roti telur with some sauce there. What are these, Daryl?
These are vadais. So it's one of the snacks, Indian snacks. So you have like curry puff and varieties. So this is called vadais. So essentially they are, what are these? Is it called mashed beans? Yeah, so, and with a lot of traditional herbs. So, one for you, one for me.
You have to set the exposure, and then you're done. You can't change it mid-recording.
Interesting.
But I mean, a shot like this that I'm taking right now, that is a reason to have a camera like this. You're not going to get this with a GoPro.
Yeah.
But do you really need it? Like, really? Yeah, this camera is very gradual for adjusting exposure as well. So when I go from here up to you and you're backlit, it does adjust, but you feel like it's not adjusting, but it's like, ooh, it's like that grandpa getting out of the rocking chair business. More food arriving. But I ordered roti telur.
Yeah, right there.
But that's also roti telur, but
yeah,
different
it's a different
stuff.
variation. Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's why I ordered to just show you the difference. Yeah. So you can choose whichever one you like as well. It's so good.
now is it recording?
Yeah, it is.
We're still struggling. I've been struggling with this Olympus just for fun. I'm trying it out, seeing how it works, and then there's no way to put it on the table. It's just not wide enough, so Daryl's going to hold it for me for a minute while I sample a couple of things. So this little cakey thing. Oh, it's very hard.
Yeah.
There we
It's
go.
nicer when it's fresh, but unfortunately it's no longer. It's been out there for a while, I guess.
Get some finger food going.
But the flavors are there.
What's in there again?
A lot of spices, a lot of there's like the mushy peas. Yeah. Careful, that one is a little bit spicy, but
This one is spicy?
I think you can handle it. I think so.
Are you besmirching my manhood? You think I can't handle a bit of spice? That's marginal.
Yeah.
I can feel it building. The spiciness is building, yeah. It's there.
Yeah, yeah.
Name of this dish?
Mee goreng. It's just
Mi
mee
goreng.
yeah.
Just mi goreng. Spicy mi goreng.
I asked them to be normal, not extra spicy.
Okay. That's going to be good. And then we have some roti telur. I always like getting the telur because it just adds a little bit more heft to it. Good breakfast on a rainy day.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So Daryl, what would you charge to come with me all day holding the camera like this?
It's
What?
about 1,000 ringgit a day.
No, I don't think that's going to work for me. Well, let me think about it.
Sure.
I'll get back to you. All right.
I'll give you a 50% discount.
And some cold coffee. All right. Thank you, Daryl.
You're welcome.
Cameraman. I was using the 12 to 35 millimeter lens over breakfast, and now I have the 12 to 35 on the camera, and it's also 12 millimeters, same as the other lens, but it seems much tighter. I don't think it's the same 12. It's yeah, very, very different or something. But this is what it looks like. Yeah, that's the the 12 on this one, and I don't know. You can see my hand is shaking. The camera's it's too heavy, man.
Can you imagine 1 hour of that?
Yeah. But when I look at it through the LCD screen here, it looks nice. I mean, taking video of that coffee cup and the view, it's clearly a bit better than action camera video, you know?
Sure.
And the G7X Mark II has a power zoom, which is really nice. The toggle, which is this one, of course, is all just manual and. But my teppanyaki, that was good. Focus. Oh man, I got there eventually. From the cup to you, but it took a while. Wow, so slow. But it does work eventually, more or less.
Okay, so stabilization there.
Yeah, the stabilization is amazing. I mean, that is one thing. I mean, looking at the window out here right now, that's crazy good. And Olympus has had this level of stabilization since 2012. So Daryl has dropped me off at an LRT station. Very cool one. Actually, there's one of the trains down there now. Just arriving. It's got this amazing tunnel system, elevated pedestrian walkway. But you need this bridge to get across this highway system. That is for sure. After breakfast, Daryl and I popped into a Starbucks. I had an iced latte. And yeah, just played around with my Olympus camera a bit more. Getting familiar with... Well, look at that. There's a camera store, video equipment, DG Color Imaging Systems. Never heard of that place. I just looked up this camera store online, and it seems to have a good reputation. So I'm going to pop in there for a few minutes, check the place out, do some window shopping. So this is the inside of the mall where DG Color is located, or DG Color and Imaging. It's up on the second floor. I didn't take any video inside the store. They didn't really have any products that I needed. Like, they don't focus on consumer action cameras, things like that. So they had no GoPros or DJI equipment or Pocket 3s or anything. It was all more like professional lighting rigs. And I think they could order a lot of things for you there, but they didn't have a lot of the smaller items and gadgets and things that I'd be interested in. So, but once I got in, to be honest, I think I've been there before. It looked familiar to me. I have a memory of being in there once long ago, but I'm walking out with no extra camera gear, which is a good thing. Because yeah, they didn't have anything that I needed or even wanted. This is where I am, by the way, Jalan Ipoh station up here. It's on the yellow line, as you can see. And I just have to go to Sentul Barat, Titiwangsa, transfer back to Masjid Jamek. And that is what is going on. That's the station over there. And there's where DG Color is located, just across the road from Jalan Ipoh station. Here comes my train, Putrajaya Central, its destination. Its terminal station. I'm back at Masjid Jamek station. Just taking a little bit of video for fun, playing around with the various settings.